Hello everybody, it's me here, Mr. Truth, and in this video, I'm going to be doing a series titled The Biggest QB Draft Bust Since 1990. I'm not going to go back any further than that, because this series would get ridiculously, and I mean this, ridiculously long. So, basically, I'm just going to go through every single year and pick the biggest quarterback bust from that year. Obviously, this is sort of subjective. This is my personal opinion, so if you think a different quarterback was a bigger bust than, this quarterback for this year, then I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you, but this is just, once again, my opinion. But these are the biggest quarterback draft busts since 1990. Let's get right into this video. Okay, so for 1990, it's going to be University of Houston quarterback Andre Ware. Now, selected 7th overall by Detroit, he only started 14 games in his NFL career, and he flamed out in 6 years of being in the league. He threw a 5-touchdown to 8 interception ratio and ended his NFL career with a truly horrific 51.6 completion percentage. Now, in my opinion, why Ware failed at the NFL level, I simply think he could not adapt to the speed and the play style of the National Football League. And his college stats, to be quite honest with you folks, were completely padded by the lethal run-and-shoot scheme that was being ran at Houston at the time, which defenses in college could not figure out for the life of them. Obviously, it's been, well figured out how to beat the run and shoot defensively, because we're in 2025. This ain't 1990 anymore. It's that simple. But Andre Ware, he just really didn't have the makeup of an NFL quarterback. He had some okay physical attributes and athletic attributes, but he just wasn't good enough to play the position at a high level, play in a pro-style 1990s drop-back passing NFL offense. And the run and shoot was just, at that, time, a revolutionary offense, and, it was just really getting hot at the college ranks. And Houston was essentially perfecting and mastering that scheme over there. And Ware inflated his stats, and it made him look better than he really was, when in reality, he could not do anything at the NFL level. So that was 1990 Andre Ware. Now, the biggest bust in 1991 was Dan McGuire. Now, McGuire was selected 16th overall by the Seattle Seahawks, and he was the first quarterback off the board in the 1991 NFL draft class. And by the way, little fun fact, he was picked over Brett Favre. So, makes it even worse. His career numbers are 2 touchdowns to 6 interceptions with a 50 completion percentage. Pretty trash numbers, to be honest with you. But another fun fact about McGuire is he is the tallest quarterback to ever play in the National Football League. And he was absolutely horrific, and he could not win the starting job over journeyman quarterbacks Stan Gelbaugh and Kelly Stouffer, who had a combined 17 touchdown to 41 interception ratio in their respective NFL careers. I mean, that right there, that one single stat alone should just tell you how bad Dan McGuire was in the NFL. He was tall, he had a rocket arm, he had a 10-cent fucking brain. He was basically like the 1991 Jacob Eason, if you get what I'm trying to say with that sort of on comparison. But still, McGuire was horrible. He was not cut out to be an NFL quarterback. Just because he was tall with a bazooka arm did not mean he was going to translate successfully into the pros. Another guy who was a good college quarterback who did not have the skills to pay the bills at the NFL level. So for 1991, the biggest bust is Dan McGuire. Now for 1992, we have David Klingler. Now, you'd think after Andre Ware didn't quite pan out in Detroit that teams would be hesitant or just straight up not pick another quarterback from the University of Houston for at least the next 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5 to even 6 seasons. But clearly somebody forgot to tell the Cincinnati front office this, as they selected him 6th overall in the draft in 1992. Now, it's absolutely safe to say that Klingler did not pan out in the NFL, as his stats were also super padded by the run-and-shoot scheme ran at the University of Houston. Now, his career numbers read like this: 16 touchdowns, 22 interceptions, a 54 completion percentage, and a 4-20 lifetime NFL record. 4-20. This man won 4 starts and 24 attempts to win a football game. That is absolutely crazy. That's unprecedented. How bad do you have to be at quarterback to go 4-20 lifetime in the NFL? I know the NFL it's a tough business. It's a tough sport. It's a tough league for sure, but 4 of 20 in 24 attempts is fucking nuts. That is otherworldly garbage, and that's exactly what Klingler was, otherworldly shit. 1992 was David Klingler. Now for 1993, we have Rick Mirer. Now, Rick Mirer was selected 2nd overall by the Seattle Seahawks in the 1993 NFL Draft. Now, obviously, Myra was on this list for a pretty good reason, but this just really goes to show you that Seattle was fucking atrocious at drafting in the early 1990s. Now, Myra was not what many people expected him to be, yet he kept receiving chance after chance after chance after chance because he was a high overall draft selection from Notre Dame, the guy with the golden arm, the rocket arm, all the potential, all the tools to be a beast quarterback at the NFL level, yet he failed. His career numbers read something like this: 50 touchdowns to 76 interceptions. Horrible. Yet he can what? The only reason he threw that many touchdowns and that many interceptions is because he kept receiving chances by desperate ass trash organizations that thought this guy was any good to begin with. And obviously he fucking wasn't. By the second time around, you should have realized, oh shit, this guy, he's on a second team. He's a scrub for a second team. He plays like a scrub for a second team. He's fucking horrible for a second team. Whatever the fuck. We can't take a chance on this guy. We maybe as a backup, but he cannot start at the NFL level. He has shown that. He's received chance after chance, and he's been a fucking complete bomb. Let's not take the risk. But no, all the teams were lining up like, we want Rick Myra. We want Rick Myra. Like it's a fire sale. Who wants Rick Myra? Who wants a shit quarterback that you think you can unlock his potential, but he doesn't have any potential to begin with because he's a fucking piece of shit. He's a scrub. Rick Myra was horrible. So 1993, Rick Myra. Now, the final year in this video is 1994, and that goes to Heath Shuler. My fucking God, Heath Shuler was fucking horrible. Now, Shuler was picked 3rd overall by the Washington Redskins. I know they're not called that anymore, but they were called that in 1994, so they were the Washington fucking Redskins. And he was picked by the Redskins, and almost instantly Washington fans figured out that Shuler was nothing short of being a six-pack of complete and utter ass. It got so bad for Heath Shuler that Washington Redskins fans started to call for 7th-round draft selection Gus Frerotte to start over him. Now, after Frerotte replaced him at quarterback, he was then in 1997 traded to the New Orleans Saints, where he posted a truly awful 2-touchdown to 14 interception ratio with them in his only season with New Orleans. Stunningly enough, he had a 4-5 record during his couple of starts with the Saints. Throwing 2 touchdowns to 14 picks, he had a 4-5 record with that team. That is otherworldly luck. That is unbelievable. Now his career numbers read like this: 15 touchdowns to 33 interceptions with a 49 completion percentage. I've said his name a lot on this channel, Heath Shuler. I just want you guys to understand why I say Shuler's name so fucking much. It's because he's such a fucking scrub of a quarterback. It's easy to compare scrubs to him because he is the definition of a scrub. He is my baseline, at least in my honest opinion, my baseline for a scrub quarterback, a guy who just can't get the job done on the field. Shuler in 1994 was just a mistake of a pick, and I don't understand why the Saints even bother starting him. I mean, I know they were winning games with the guy, but he was so fucking bad, it was unbelievable. Surely your second option can't be worse than this guy. And it's just, it's unbelievable. To me, it's unbelievable. He lasted a year in the NFL. After his first year, he should have been shit canned from the NFL. He should have never been allowed to wear an NFL uniform again, but Saints took a chance on him, traded for him, and he was fucking terrible and benched for them. And he got into politics, I believe, and I think he's now retired from politics. So I guess good on him for, forging a second life after being a scrub-ass NFL quarterback. But still, he was terrible. He's not exempt from being called the scrub quarterback just because he did something good with his life. That's going to be it for this video. I don't want this video to be super long. So that was part 1 of the biggest quarterback bust since 1990. We went from 1990 to 1994. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.